All right, good morning. Today is August 21st of 2024, and let's go over yesterday's price action as well as the today's outlook for the coming trading day. Give me 1 second. Just got a lot of things I gotta close up. Right here. Let's go ahead. Okay, all right. So pretty good day yesterday. We had a down close here, down close here. Right after the morning, I had expected the bullish price action because we are in bullish order flow still. I expected price to keep drawing higher, but obviously we did not get that. Um, so let's take a look here at the 60-minute real quick. Actually, at the 2 hour, the 4 hour. So again, after 4 hour, I looked for price to draw higher, and it did, because it did trade into this gap here in the 4 hour. Um, and the 4 hour didn't tell me anything at this point. So what I did is I actually looked at the 60-minute to see where price was likely drawing to. Same thing here. We had this big, huge gap here. But again, right after the open, it didn't really tell me anything. So I zoomed into the 60-minute. So at the 60-minute, I noticed that price had yet to sweep this low. Right. Okay. So yeah, on the 60-minute again, I had noticed that price swept these lows, but had yet to sweep this low. On ES, on NQ, it already did. So that to me was SMT, and that price was looking to seek liquidity at the highs. So right after the open, we had displacement. I'm just gonna go straight into what I did right after the open. Um, so right off the open, I was looking for some sort of displacement, similar to last Friday, where price displaced, retraced, and then we entered at the 11 o'clock macro. Only this time, though, it displaced higher. And here on the 5 minute, I noticed that price closed above this breaker here. Okay, so once I saw this, I looked for an entry here, and I was actually able to get a pretty good entry on the 1 minute. On the 60 on NQ, I didn't like it as much because price had yet to close above any of these highs here. Here on NQ, on ES, price did with this candle here. I entered at this gap here and covered into this sweep here. I actually wanted to get into an extra one, but I didn't get triggered. I actually had my sell order, a buy order right here to get into a couple other contracts. Didn't get that because what I saw was I wanted for price to draw sweep this high, maybe hold here, and then look to cover in these areas here. So that would have been a good trade. Again, execution was great. Did not get filled on my other contracts, and and so that's why I was able to get out with a tiny profit. So, anyways, afterwards, price swept this high here and started reversing. What I actually wanted to see was a retracement, but instead we had displacement. So I wanted to see a retracement, and once I saw this right here, I began to start looking. I wanted to see price. I wanted to see price start reversing here. Um, let's go into the 5 minute here. Yeah, I wanted to see price start reversing in this area here. Same thing here. I wanted to see price start reversing here. Obviously, in hindsight, this wasn't necessarily a liquidity pool, so it makes sense that price decided to displace lower. Again, once I started noticing displacement lower, that trade idea went out the window, because what I wanted to see was I wanted to actually see retracement. And when you expect the retracement, you want to see lethargic down moves, something like this, where it kind of just consolidates, draws lower, consolidates, draws lower. Something like which one? Right here. This is the one. Lethargic up and down moves until it sweeps liquidity into an imbalance and then draws higher. But obviously we did not get that. Instead, we had Instead, we had displacement lower, displacement. Um, and when you get displacement, that means the price is looking to take out sell stops. It's a stop hunt, really. So once price traded into this low here, there was no longer SMT, so I just began to look for price to start consolidating, and that's what it did here. Same thing here. Price started consolidating. It actually traded into this gap here. Ultimately, it traded into this gap here, and after it traded into this gap here, I wanted to see price remain above this swing low here, and so that once again is SMT because here price took out liquidity, here price didn't. So once I saw that and saw that price literally covered, literally this rebalanced the whole 4-hour imbalance. This is the 1 hour, the whole 4-hour imbalance. I began to start looking for an entry, and this was during the 11 o'clock macro. So during the 11 o'clock macro, we had displacement lower, and then we had price start to rebalance. Okay, we had to start rebalance in consolidation. So we had displacement here, same thing here, displacement here. Price started, then price retraced, and the retracement, even though it was sort of displacement. Here we started seeing consolidation. Here we started seeing consolidation. Consolidation between this gap here and this gap here. Here, price never reached consequent encroachment or 50% of this range. Here, price touched it and then immediately retraced lower. Only after price closed above 50% of the range, I jumped in, and honestly, I jumped in a little too high. I actually jumped in like right here on a mini, but that's because I was truly sold and I had expected these highs to get swept. Um, and so we had this move, and the up move was not as crazy as this one right here. I wanted something like this, not something like this. Again, lethargic. And once price took this high, retraced, and then took this high, I actually got out right here. So a tiny win. And honestly, my stop was here, and obviously we never got that stop before I ran these highs here. Um, but by this time, I was already, like I said, it was already way past the macro. Um, and I wasn't getting any moves. After this one, I had expected the next one to just continue drawing higher, but it didn't. So I went ahead and closed it because obviously we were way past the macro, and if price was to continue drawing up to these highs, then the up move would have been as aggressive as this one. Okay, so anyways, I closed the data, and I closed it until the 1300 macro. The reason I came back at the 1300 macro was because I wanted to see what price was doing at these lows if price swept the lows. Same thing here. I wanted to see what price was doing at these lows if price swept below the lows. And so that's why I came for the 1300 macro, because I had expected something to occur during the 1300 macro. In between 11 and 1300, that gives it 2 hours for price to develop. And yeah, for price to develop. And so I wasn't expecting for price to consolidate for 3 hours if I came back for the 1330 macro. So I came back to the 1330 macro, for the 1300 macro, 1250 actually. And just actually, it wasn't 1250. I came in a little too late, 1257. And once I saw that, I was like, oh man, I got to take advantage of this, because again, off the 4 hour, if price was still bullish, then I would have expected this whole gap to close. And if price was still bullish, then maybe this gap would get swept into at least a little bit and then draw higher. If price had drawn into this area, then I wouldn't have been as sold. But since price literally just ticked into this one and then started drawing higher, that's when my mind was sold on a long. Once again, same thing here, 4 hour, didn't sweep and left part of the gap open. So that once again is SMT, SMT here, SMT here. And so I began to look for an entry. On the 15-minute, once we had that SMT, we also noticed that price swept this low, and so this was a lower low. On NQ, however, price obviously did not draw into that 4 hour, but it did draw into this low here, but here price did not sweep this low. So that, again, that's SMT on the higher time frame, SMT on the lower time frame. Technically, this is still SMT at the higher time frame, and so I began to look for an entry here. Once again, um, I am more. I feel more comfortable trading minis on ES than I do on NQ. So I began to look for this one. As you can see here, this 15-minute swept this low here. 15-minute did not sweep this low here. Again, that's once again SMT on the lower time frame. So 3 SMTs really. 2 second stage high HTF SMTs and 1 LTF lower time frame SMT on the lower time frames. I actually got in a little too early, which is fine because my stop was down here. But once I saw the SMT, I actually put my stop here. I should have added one more here, but I knew that my target was actually pretty high. So again, I hesitated. I wish I hadn't done that, and I was so close to doing it, but I actually didn't do it because I had already had a pretty good win here. With this win here, it kind of made it into one win on one ES mini. So I was like, all right, so if I'm gonna triple that, then I'll just take the one and cover into these areas here. So on the 1 minute, let me show you exactly where I got in. So on the 1 minute, I actually got in right here. Yeah, I got in right here on this candle here because I had wanted to see this placement higher. We didn't get that, and it was right off the 1300 macro. So what I wanted to see is I actually wanted to see a retracement into 50% of this range, which is this right here, 50% of this range, turtle soup entry, long. Second entry could have been here off this IFBG, and obviously with this place higher, I covered into this area here for a very good trade. Not as much as I would have wanted, but I should have added here, and obviously I didn't. But that's fine, you know. Again, this was the SMT that I was looking for. This SMT here. This was the turtle soup entry. A second entry would have been here, right off this unicorn entry. Technically, this is a mitigation block. This one isn't a mitigation block. This one's actually a unicorn breaker block. This one could have been the breaker block as well, but I could have used this one for a mitigation block. And when you use a mitigation block for a unicorn type of entry, you want to see a stop run in between the high and low, in between the lows, if you're bullish, in between the lows. And it had a stop run here, here. So this could have been the second entry. Again, just tiny little mistakes here and there, but again, my bias was correct. I went in with my bias. I could have entered multiple contracts to cover my last one up here, but obviously that didn't. Last play of the day. Last play of the day was pretty good actually also. Once again, we had the sweep here going into the last hour. We had the sweep here above 50%. So what I wanted to see was, I wanted to see price draw lower into this gap here on the 15-minute. Same thing here on the 15-minute, swept multiple lows, swept this area of liquidity here. Here we didn't, so that is SMT between this low and this low here. And so I entered right at this low here. Why? Because that gave me the most risk reward I've ever calculated actually. So that was a pretty good for me. So what I did was I actually put a stop a couple of ticks right below here, actually at 20, 198 20.00, and my entry was like I don't know, it was, I think it was 23 or 26, maybe up here somewhere. And so again, put my stop here, did a couple of zigzags, and I wanted to actually price draw above here. First time it didn't, second time it actually did, and I actually covered a couple of ticks right below here. I wanted to cover here, but as soon as the macro opened for the 1600 macro, we had a quick dip, draw higher. Actually, no, it actually opened, immediately drew higher, and I was too slow with my with my limit order. I was about to close it here because this is 50% of this down range, and that's where you want to close it at. But since we ran this high here, I had a better than expected. So that was a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio. Actually, was it more like a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio? So pretty good entries on all. I do want to show the video real quick. Here we go. Okay, so this was the entry here. I had already entered here, like I said. This was the institutional order for entry drill. So I was looking for a price to keep drawing higher. It didn't, and I began to look at the 15-minute here instead. So I zoomed out. Uh, I zoomed out to see if price would draw lower. This is 50% of the range here, and as you can see, price never did uh, draw lower into that area. Eventually, we had that move up, and we started doing this. This is where I wanted to add the turtle soup entry, and I was so close to doing that, and I even saw this, as you can see me drawing the uh, inverted here, but by this time I guess my what happened? What the hell? Oh man. All right, I don't know what happened there, but again, IFBG entry here. I could have gotten in here, and I didn't. But that's fine. Eventually, I got the draw into this high here, covered my profit, and that was it. That was it for the day. So that was the end of this trade. Okay, so today, yesterday price closed. Let's go ahead and delete all this. I don't need this anymore. So yesterday price closed. Lower than the previous day's close. So that, to me, on the daily especially, means that retracement is necessary. Um, yeah, retracement is necessary. So I don't know exactly where price is going to retrace to, because, oh, one thing I did forget was another reason why I took the long was because price on ES retraced into 50% of the higher time frame range. On NQ, it did not. As you can see, 50% of the range is here. So as you can see here, then that again is SMT. So today I'm thinking that price might need to sweep these lows once again before it draws higher. There is a market maker buy model here, and this is the high here. Same thing here, market maker buy model. So I want to see how price traded within this price range. Um, I'm not sure that uh, actually I wouldn't be surprised if price continued drawing higher into these highs. And if price did that, then I'm not looking to take a long. If price has yet to sweep this high here, then I will be looking for some sort of entry here to complete the market maker buy model. This right here is a retracement. As you can see, the move down is lethargic. It's not as displaced as this one. Lethargic here. So I would look to see for continuation. So I want to basically look for a market maker buy model in the lower time frame. This is a higher time frame market maker buy model. So I want to see maybe if I can get like on an entry for second stage consolidation or accumulation, and then I want to see displacement higher to complete this market maker buy model. Same thing here. This market maker buy model is actually bigger with this low here, this high here. So these two are relative equal highs. Okay. I want to see what price did with this gap here. I don't need this anymore. This I still need, but let me let me delete this. I probably should have deleted it yesterday, but I wanted to keep it on here to just to see basically what price did. Ah, darn! I hate it when this happens. Sweep. Let's take this out. Let's take this out, and this out. Okay. All right. So let's just zoom out to the daily real quick so we can go down in detail. Again, we had a down close candle, closed below the opening. This opened here. Same thing here. Actually, did it close? Yep, we did. Okay. So if we are to draw lower, then I would suspect to draw into this low here, this gap here, this fair value gap here. Same thing here. Price did leave a gap here, but again, I do like that price closed that 4-hour imbalance, and if I'm right, then this should be the low, and price should draw higher from here. So let's move over to the 4-hour. 4-hour. So this is that 4-hour gap I was talking about. As you can see, it left it mostly opened. So that once again is a bullish sign to me. Yep. So that is a bullish sign to me. This one, it didn't. It actually closed above consequent encroachment, closed and open above consequent encroachment. That once again is still a bullish sign. Okay, let's leave this here. Okay, bullish sign. Okay, so again, I want to see how price traded. If it continued drawing higher, then I want to target these highs as the draw on liquidity. Same thing here as draw on liquidity. Let's say for some reason, if these highs were already swept, then I have no bias. I'm not looking to enter the market. I'm looking to see what the state of delivery is currently on. Is it in a retracement? Is it in displacement? Where is it? And once I'm able to identify that, I'll be able to see or anticipate where price may lead to. But as it stands right now, objective are the highs, relative equal highs, relative equal highs. So I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I don't need this anymore. So the only thing I do need is this. I don't need this. I need this right here. Okay, so again, let's go to the 60-minute. 60-minute, I don't have anything here. Same thing here. I don't have anything here. Again, SMT between this low and this low and this low and this low. So we'll see if any of these got swept. And this gap here, this gap was mostly left open. Again, still bullish because it did not trade into 50% of this range. Same thing here. Actually, I don't need this because it already did this right here. So I'll leave this here. I'll leave this open. Actually, it's still good. I just realized that since price did not sweep this low here, this gap is still within yeah, it's still in effect. Let's take a look at the 30-minute gap here, completely closed. Same thing here, gap left opened. Too much. There's too much stuff. So since this has relative equal highs, I wouldn't be surprised if price swept into here and then continue drawing higher. Same thing here. No consecutive gaps, but it did completely close this one. So as it stands right now, I do see that the ES, well, NQ has a better reason to reach for these highs. This is the current dealing range for me because it swept this high and this low. So this is the dealing range along with relative equal high. So again, this is the drawn liquidity for me. Let's go ahead and draw this right here. REH. two relative equal highs between this high and this high here. Price here closed above this breaker, so this makes it a breaker block. I'm not going to add it, but I am mindful that this right here is a unicorn setup. Same thing here, unicorn setup. Actually, let's go to the 15 minutes. That way we can see it a lot clearer. Okay, again, breaker, unicorn setup. So I want to see what price did within this price range here. Same thing here. I want to see what price did within this price range here. And if we drew higher, then I'll look for a continuation onto the higher time frame for the higher areas. If for some reason we swept these lows, then I want to see what price did at the 4-hour area down here. Same thing here, 4-hour area. I will not be looking to short just yet. I'm not sold on damn, what did I just do? Okay. All right. So again, if price is really bullish, then I would not have expected for price to draw into this area. So I'm not looking to see, I'm not expecting that price drew down here. I'd be highly surprised if it did, if we're still in a bullish order flow. But if we swept this low and then displace higher, then I would still be convinced that we are drawing towards the highs. But anyways, that's it for now. I could add standard deviations here to see how far away we'd go. But again, first target is still here. The objective still remains up here on the daily. Objective still remains up here on the daily. I would like for this whole void here to have closed already. Not to have closed, but I would expect for this objective here to close. So let's go ahead and connect to data and see where price is. Oh, I almost closed the are you sure you want to exit? No, I am not sure. I almost closed that. Here we go. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect. All right. All right, so let's see where price is. A little too too many drawings. I don't like that. So I'll just delete them as I see what price did overnight. Beautiful. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so relative equal highs, price swept here, price swept here. We did have a sweep here. We did have a sweep here. No session sweeps yet. Yeah, no session sweeps here. Draw on liquidity are the highs. No SMT at the lows. No SMT at the lows. Relative equal highs, relative equal lows. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. When you have that, when you have relative equal lows and relative equal highs, you want to wait for one of them to get swept, and then you want to enter the long. So what I'm gonna do is I would actually rather like one of these lows to get swept. Yeah, I would like for one of these lows to get swept. Either one of these lows. Because here, again, we already have SMT. Do we have SMT between this low and this low? So we do have SMT here. So it might, I would assume that price, okay, so two options I have. I want to see displacement higher, but I don't want to see this highs get taken yet. Option two is I want to see displacement lower. Well, not displacement lower, but I want to see one of these lows get swept, and then I'll get in to get long. but I don't want to get in at this current price range unless there's a setup on the lower time frames. I don't see one just yet. Again, we already have the sweep up here. We have a sweep up here. Actually, that's SMT. Between this low and this low, let's go ahead and check and see what the 1 minute is showing us. Entry here, sweep. We already swept this low. This would be my draw on liquidity. No entry, no entry. Okay. So again, no entry just yet. I want to see a low get swept first. Once a low gets swept, then I'll start to target the highs. And like I said, I don't expect price to come down here. So that's actually a pretty good sign. Nothing down at the lows just yet. So if I'm being honest, it's getting easier. And the goal is to make it as simple and fluid is to make it simple and fluid to read price action, and I believe that's where we're headed. So pat on the back for me. I'm happy. So as long as I just keep on following my rules and um, analyzing data like I'm doing, then I'll be all right. Actually, there is no SMT at the highs. Maybe this high here. Let's take a look at this 1 minute here. Yeah, I wouldn't get in here. Oh shit, this was the entry here. Damn. Yep, that was it right there. This high was swept. This high wasn't swept. Just met the what do you call that? Okay, so now we have SMT. So now let's look for an entry. Well, not necessarily look for an entry. I'm just identifying my I'm just identifying. Again, I would like to see these lows get swept. Relative equal highs, relative equal highs. I want to see how price closes here. This is a low time frame dealing range. On the 5 minute, we close below it. I would actually like to see a close below here, and then I'd look for an entry to get second stage. Yeah, to get second stage, but we are reversing, so so that's good. Let's take a look at the 1 minute here. Let's take a look at the 30-second. No, it looks like it's taken off without me. Yep, there we go. Okay, so this right here is the gap that I'm looking at right here. All right, please don't draw towards the highs just yet. No. We have market structure shift, and it looks like it's about to complete. Oh, darn. Don't do it just yet. Ah, and there it goes. Okay, so we caught that a little too late. Darn. Don't sweep the high, please. Not yet. All right, so we might get that entry. I think I'm going to take it. Let's see here. All right, what What is the entry? 30.25. Looks like I'm not going to get that entry. Shoot. Come on, just a little more. And my stop is this low here. Let's see if I get in. Come on, just a little more. All right, so I'm in. One contract. Targets here. And I will get out if I get stopped out. Again, target is up here. Actually, this would be the target because these are all equal highs. Let's just wait, watch, and see what price does. All right. Okay, so these were respected. This right here is a liquidity void. All right, beautiful. All right, beautiful. I want to see price immediately slice through these highs. Come on, baby. Slice through it. Slice through it. Beautiful. Come on. Give me that. And one more. Do not do this to me. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put my sell order up here. As soon as it gets above there, I'll put my sell order at, wait, why isn't it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to put my sell order there. Come on, draw higher. There we go. All right, so I just need this one to come up here. Come on, there you go. All right. Do not reverse. Keep going higher. Keep drawing higher. All right, so I'm out. I'm out here for a pretty nice win. I like it. So right off the open, we had that because again, I had expected price to draw higher, and we got that entry on the 30-second covered up into this area. So I'm happy because again, I was expecting for price to draw higher. We did not get that. We did not get the sweep of these lows. So now that this objective has been made, this objective has not been made yet. So now I wait for another opportunity. Because again, the objective on ES on NQ was that I wanted to see these relative equal highs get swept. But obviously it didn't here. On ES, it already did. So now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for more structure. I want to see the same thing I saw here. I want to see that here now. And if price continues drawing higher, which I want to see, I want to see displacement. I want to see continued displacement. Continued displacement without sweeping these highs. Because what that tells me is that eventually, maybe during the 10 o'clock macro, we'll see a retracement. Okay, we'll see a retracement, and I want that retracement to be, yeah, I want that retracement. That's SMT between this high and this high, this high and this high. But again, I don't expect these highs to remain. I would expect for these highs to get broken. But since the objective has already been met here, I wouldn't be surprised if we ran these lows now. It's still not out of the realm of possibility. The only way that these lows would not get swept would be if price starts closing above uh, in very bullish candles up here. But as you can see, we are getting a down move on down close candles real quick. Ooh, that entry was nice. I like that entry. You would not actually get in on a second try because price has already swept this high here. So it's totally logical to assume that price will draw another low unless it just draws higher. But again, I want to see, oh, here you go. I want to see price close like this. You see here we had an immediate up move here, kind of like this one. And then right at the highs, we had some sort of consolidation. And then we started to close higher, higher, higher until it finally swept these highs here. Here, obviously, as you can see, it did not sweep these highs yet. And what did it do what did it do on the pullback? It retraced. As you can see, the retracement is very lethargic. It's not like this. That's displacement. It's lethargic. So now I want to see something like that. I want the market to tell me what it wants to do. uh, 5 minutes until the macro. Okay, so now we have a swing high, swing low, close above this area here, close above this area here. We have a drawn liquidity. So now that we closed above here, I want to see this right here. I want to see how price behaves here, because this right here is a mitigation block and a stop run here. So let's take a look at the 1 minute. All right, here we go. So this would be my entry. Ah, no, it already ran. Damn. Okay. And there it goes too. Shoot. All right. Damn, this sucks. I'm not gonna chase it. Man, I should have noticed this before. I would have gotten in right here. Okay, let's get ready. 33.25. All right, so I'm gonna put in an order for 33.25. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna risk my earlier profit. Here we have a breaker block right here. Actually, it just took off. Damn. All right. Damn, that sucks. Okay, no worries. I'll just let it go. Oh man, I was too proud of my first trade that I didn't continue to evaluate price. And there he goes. Shit. All right. So, let's see here. Yeah, I would like to see a draw into this area here so I can get in. and my stop will be this low. So again, I'm risking my profit from earlier. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's get a buy order here. 32.50. Where is it? Oh no! Don't tell me. Damn! I didn't get the. I didn't get the fill. All right, there it is. All right, so I have the order in there. Now let's see if I get filled. I hope I do. I'm not gonna do it, but I just want to see what we do here. All right, let's put it in here once again. 32.50. Don't tell me I'm gonna get it. Ah, you son of a biscuit. All right, I might get filled, and I just got filled. Okay, beautiful. All right, so again, my stop is oh no, we have one more here. Shoot, no, this is 30-second. All right, 1 minute. All right, so let's see how price does now. I want to see price just draw higher from here. I'm not looking for anything other than that. There's a tiny void here, so I wouldn't be surprised if price came into here. What I want to see is, you see, it's bouncing off a consequent encroachment here. As long as I keep on seeing, even if it penetrates this area here, as long as it keeps on closing above 50% of this range, I'll be okay. And the macro is about to open, so I want price to immediately draw higher. There you go. There we go. Okay, so that would be the entry if I were to get in on the macro. All right, we're getting something here. Just let it play out. I don't like that we already swept this high, but I believe in the market maker buy model, so that's why I'm looking for the highs. If we would have had the sweep here, then the down move should have been displacement, but it's not. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay. We're not out of the waters yet. Again, unicorn setup off a mitigation block, stop run. So all of those checks are done, and now we just look for a long. Well, I entered long here. I like that we didn't close below, or we only touched consequent encroachment. So now I just wait. so we are retracing. I'm just gonna keep watching. What's the hourly look like? So the hourly looks bullish. Hourly looks bullish here. It looks bullish. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep my trade on. All right. Here, let's see now. Okay, so we do have SMT at the lows. All right, so we do have SMT at the lows. Now, actually, we don't have SMT at the lows anymore because it just ran this low here. So let's just wait and see what it does. Do we have SMT with ES and NQ? Nope, no SMT with ES and NQ. We open and close still above this. Any run below and I'm out. Trust your analysis and let things fall where they may. As you can see here, price ran into this gap here, so now I want to see price draw higher. Okay, we're still drawing higher. Beautiful. I don't see anything other than, yep. I want price to immediately draw through that. We're not getting that just yet. Come on. I want to see flat tops. I don't want to see wicks above. Yep, I want to see flat tops. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. We drew those highs. Come on. Okay. I want to see continued up moves. So now my hard stop is down here. I'm not looking to hold on to my trade any much longer because if price is to continue drawing higher, then it should not come back to this price area here. Again, I want to see price close with flat tops. A couple more seconds. Beautiful. Come on. We have a gap here, gap here. So there's no reason for price to come back down here. Ah, that's beautiful. That is just wonderful. Come on. I'm gonna put my my take profit yep, above this area here, but I want to see how price closes here. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. All right, so the 5-minute, I like how it's doing. I want to see flat tops on NQ, not as good. As you can see here on this unicorn setup, price closed above consequent encroachment. Nice. Okay. All right. So, geez. Okay. Wow. It's turning into a beautiful, beautiful trade. Just beautiful. All right. So I'm going to take my profit here at 39. 39. I'm going to put my stop at my entry. All right, done. Okay, so now you just let it go. Wow, that was nice. Oh, don't do that to me. We're getting a pretty weak close, it seems. All right, so we have 2 minutes into the 10 o'clock macro. So what I'm going to do is I have my stop at break even, but I want to see how the 5 minute closes. The reason why I want to cover here is because we do have liquidity right here above this high. That's why my stop, well, my take profit is 39. So this right here is a tiny little order block that's holding price down. So it makes logical sense that price is consolidating. But again, I want to see how this closes. I don't want to see price take the previous low out. So once this opens, I would like for an immediate rebalance into this area here, and then price draws higher. It would be beautiful if it closed above this area here. I don't want to see it close below. All right, so we got 30, 40 seconds before the close of this candle. And the 1 hour is very bullish. All right. No, I'm not gonna second guess it. I'm gonna take my profit here. I was starting to think, oh, maybe I shouldn't put my sell order there. Uh, and I'm done. Wow, that was beautiful. Okay, so covered into here, and the rest is just gravy. Obviously, I don't have anything else, but as you can see, we're still running. Jeez, stop running between mitigation buffers. All right, I'm done with that. Man, I'm happy. Entry, exit. This time I actually stuck with my executions. I believed in them. I read price. Yeah, I read price pretty nice because again, I read this down move as the sell side of the market maker buy model. Same thing here, market making buy model. NQ, no entry. Uh, this one is still a um, yeah. This one right here is a it's pretty good. That's all I can say. I'm just Really enjoying. Yep, really enjoying it. All right, so we do have some rather large equal highs here. So I don't expect to trade anymore today because we do have what's that thing called, FOMC minutes at 1400. Um, yeah, we do have FOMC minutes at 1400. So in between now, well, after this macro, so the 11, 12, and 1300 macro, it's not going to do anything. It's either going to consolidate or it's going to do something I haven't seen done in a long time. It may continue running highs, and that is completely logical given the current market structure. So if it continues drawing higher, then I guess that would be totally logical. But the majority of the time, we normally just look for price to consolidate. Okay, and then once the FOMC minutes are out, that's when you see the run on liquidity or the run on stops, and then price begins that way. And so what I'm expecting to do is what I want to see do what I want to see is I want to see I'm not going to come back until the 1500 macro, um, because by that time price will have already settled, and price will have already drawn highs or lows depending on where the market's headed to afterwards. I do expect price to eventually get to these areas, and I wouldn't be surprised if after FOMC it does that. If price runs these highs within this macro, then I would expect price to run these highs after the FOMC meeting. If price does not run this high um, into FOMC yet, then I would expect FOMC to target those highs. So either or, I am looking for a retracement or a continuation of the completion of this market maker buy model. So we'll see. But yeah, I can get rid of this here. This one I can leave. And let's go ahead and delete uh, this right here because I only need this. Oh man, I'm just extremely happy at my executions today, my ability to write, um, my ability to read price action. So it looks like we are going to target these highs here within the macro, um, and that's low resistance runs. Low resistance runs. I actually saw it on an instruction video from ICT, and it meant that price would target these highs. And as you can see, price is drawing higher with very little pullbacks. Yes, it's not as much. But actually, let's take a look at these other trades. All right, so it's funny because just yesterday I wrote down this is why I got into this trade here. And that's why journaling is important. Um, this right here again is a mitigation block, and I had known this previous to yesterday, but just yesterday I figured I'd write it down because yesterday I saw plenty of examples, and so that, I did that to refresh my memory. Same thing here. This is actually a breaker block because it ran this low, and this would have been my entry here. But anyways, so yesterday I wrote down, where is it here? Where is this? Okay, so if a mitigation block is gonna work as an entry for a unicorn, did it have a stop run? Oh, son of a biscuit. Really? Okay, much better. Okay, so again, if a mitigation block is going to work as an entry for a unicorn, did it have a stop run within it? And is the displacement balanced? The stop run is important. Okay, again, mitigation block, unicorn, order block. Wait a minute, 5 minute. I'm going to take a look at this in a second. Um, Stop run, swing low, swing high, in between this mitigation block lows, stop run, price ran higher, rebalanced this whole area, traded back in. That's why I took it. This whole area right here is a rebalance of this one-sided move here. You know what? Let's take a look at the 1 minute again. I'm not going to take it anymore, but what I will do is I will look for a simulation trade. Looks like I won't get it. It already happened here. SMT at these lows here. Let's just watch. I'm very curious still. All right. Oh darn! It just literally went in there. All right. Let's put in a buy, another buy at 35. All right. Let's take a look at the 30-second. There might be something on the 30-second. Okay. Swing low, swing high. Yep. Right there. NQ is reaching higher highs. ES isn't. We had a run above this right here. All right. Nope. I'm not going to get an entry. Damn. All right. You know what? Let's take one here because I believe these were the lows here. I just want to see because it's so close to the, oh, okay. All right. Breakout above. I want to see how price closes and opens here. Institutional order flow entry drill. Yep, that was it right there. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is a down close candle. So now I want to see price hold above this price area here. I don't want to see a new low. I'm gonna look to get in again on NQ. No, it looks like we're not gonna get it. Yep, Definitely a bad buy. Well, not yet, but definitely a bad buy there, at least. Darn. Okay, so it closed this whole area here. So right now we have consolidation. What I want to see is I want to see price draw higher. And what I want to see is I want to see price leave gaps. So I'm going to be using this right here as the order block. All right. Okay, so I'm in. My stop is this low here. And my target is this area here. Come on. There we go. I don't want to see any more lows. 50% of this order block. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. All right, so it looks like it's not gonna work. Okay, that's fine. We have another low broken. Okay, so now we have something better on the 1 minute. So now I want to see how price closes here. Oh, it's gonna sweep this low. That would be an even better entry. No, it's not doing anything. Okay. All right. So definitely not good. I'm so glad that this was just a it was a simulated trade. Okay, let's see what it does here. Sweep, sweep. All right, we have this. We swept this low, NQ didn't. Okay, that might be something. All right, we're still within this unicorn here. Let's see what happens at the 1500 macro. Nope, it's not doing it. All right, let's see what it does here at this immediate rebalance. All right, looks like it's not doing it. It's not coming back up. Let's check out this right here. Let's check out the 5 minute. All right, so it is still closing above here. A couple more minutes and I'll look to see what price does. All right, so I have a buy. I'm going to put in a buy order here to see if maybe we dip back in there. But looks like it's taken off. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Okay, so on the 15-minute, this whole area is the unicorn. All right, I'll leave it there. Oh, I don't even know why I didn't close this yet. Again, this is just the where is it? All right, so this whole area right here is the let me just show you real quick before. Again, simulator. Okay, come on. All right, so it's too much for me to. Damn, this would have been a beautiful entry here on the 15-minute, but I don't see one just yet. Yeah, this was the entry for the unicorn. 5-minute entry, 15-minute entry. So now we are completely drawing higher. Yep, that was it. That was definitely it. Darn, definitely missed that. Oh wait, I meant to take out the simulator one. Okay, so I'm glad that I was able to take these wins here and this beautiful win here. But yeah, that's it for me today. I'm glad that I wasn't here for this. Well, I am, and I was able to actually notice this as well. As soon as price closed here, as you can see, price closed above, and then drew higher. So that was the actual entry. I was so close to jumping in here. So close. Close above here. This would be an inverted entry. Let's see here. Okay, so this may be the IOFE whatever. I always get that mixed up. So with these types of entries, what you want to see is an immediate draw into here and an immediate move away from it. If that happens, then on the third candle afterwards, I will look to jump in. Consolidation, manipulation, expansion. All right, so I want to see immediate run higher. I could just jump in now. You know what? Let's go ahead and do a sim trade there. My stop is down here. All right, there we go. Let's see. Same thing here. And now, again, I don't want to draw into that area anymore. Again, this is the third candle. I mean, this is the second candle. That's fine still. Let's draw it a little lower because this is technically still it. I don't want to see any close below it. couple more seconds, and I'll look to see. Actually, this is the better entry because this one doesn't have. This one has lower lows. All right, in the center there. I don't want to see any move lower anymore. Oh, and there it goes. Darn. That's unfortunate. All right, that's it for now. Anyways, I'll call it a day.